Happy Wednesday, everyone. Jo here at SportsGrid. It's time for a Puck It with Jo. Now we've got 3 games on deck today. We're going to go over each and every one of these games, what I'm liking, sides, totals, and some player props for you guys. Hopefully you made some money yesterday. There was some great games out there. How about the Sharks pushing the Dallas Stars again to overtime? We saw the Boston Bruins and the Edmonton Oilers go to overtime as well as that Chicago Blackhawks game. Chicago able to break that losing streak. I tell you, there was some games that I felt so uncomfortable about yesterday, but hopefully at the end of the day, you guys made some money. The Islanders able to get things done, and those trades are going across the board. It's really going to change the landscaping of how we go about some of these teams moving forward, especially with those big adjustments. So let's make some freaking money today. It is a revenge spot here for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I worry about them a little bit with the Boston Bruins on deck tomorrow. Now, the Buffalo Sabres always play the Toronto Maple Leafs hard. So we're going to have to look at that one. But there's a huge indicator in that game for why we might want to take a closer look at Toronto. Samsonov getting the start tonight. And I do think that's a huge indicator of which game they think they can win. I think they should have saved Samsonov for tomorrow night. But we'll see what happens with that one. So good afternoon to you guys. Let's jump into this first game. We are going to talk about the Buffalo Sabres taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, the Buffalo Sabres coming in here at plus 150 minus 182. For Toronto, total of 5.5. Now, or sorry, 6.5. 6.5 juice to the over at minus 114, minus 106 to the under. Plus 1.5 for the Buffalo Sabres here. It's getting out of the range where I'm comfortable betting them plus 1.5. It's coming in at minus 156. But if you want to look at Toronto, laying the 1.5, it's coming in at plus 130. We know Toronto phenomenally strong at bouncing back off of those losses. In their last 5 games off a loss, they have bounced back with that win. They're too juicy right now on that money line, and I do think the Buffalo Sabres will play them tight. They've won 4 of the last 5 meetings in Toronto. So I do think there's a shot here on that money line for a small sprinkle. I think the better way to take this one is to look at this total to go to the over. My concern also, we've got the goaltenders confirmed here. Samsonov confirmed for Toronto, which means Toronto, I thought they would have saved him for tomorrow, is looking to get this win. This is Battle of the Atlantic. They're sitting third, and the Sabres are sitting since. Lankigan is confirmed for the Buffalo Sabres. I didn't expect them to go to him. He has a 2.46 goals against average and a 914 save percentage. I just want to tell you what he did the last time versus Toronto. And yes, this was over a year ago. It was February 21st, 2023. He saved, he had a goals against average of 19.75. It was an absolute disaster. He saved 6 shots on 10 shots on goal. So he allowed in those 4 goals. He absolutely struggled in that last meeting. He only matched up with Toronto one other time. That was earlier last season, in which he allowed 5 goals on 23 shots on goal. So Lankigan has struggled versus Toronto. Now, could he come out and have a much stronger performance? He is playing better this season. Absolutely, he could. I don't trust it, though. The Sabres, one thing to note, they are 4-0 in the puck line following a loss as an underdog, so they do come out strong. They lost that last game to the Winnipeg Jets 5-2. Toronto off that loss to the Bruins, in which they face the Bruins again tomorrow, and that's my concern here, going big on Toronto. That will be the look-ahead game. That will be the rivalry game that they're looking to play. They just have to get through and survive this one versus the Sabres. So I wouldn't lay the puck line. Should they cover the puck line? Absolutely. I would lean on the Sabres on the puck line before I looked at that. The first game on the road here for the Sabres as well. I think you can look at the Sabres team total over 2.5. I do expect 3 goals to come in this game for them tonight. That's coming in at minus 134, but I like that over in this game a lot better. But like I said, the Sabres play them really hard. The power play has been really clicking here for the Buffalo Sabres as of late. So I'm going to look at some anytime goal scorers here for the Buffalo Sabres. You can look at, if you're looking at Toronto, we know Austin Matthews at home for his points. Again, I am really concerned that the team will be kind of checked out of this game, looking forward to Boston tomorrow. But if you want to bet on Toronto, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, I would definitely circle both of those players for over 1.5 points. So taking them for 2+ points. And then looking at the Buffalo Sabres, I do think Tage Thompson for the anytime goal. has such value at plus 210, Jeff Skinner at plus 240, and Alex Tuck here at plus 260. Again, you can look at their points, but I would rather take the anytime goal scorers for the Buffalo Sabres. Let's move on to the next game here. We have the Detroit Red Wings taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Now we know how strong the Avs are at home. They're almost a $2 favorite at minus 196. We have the Red Wings coming in at plus 162, total of 6.5. Minus 115 to the over 6.5 and minus 105. If you're looking to take the Red Wings plus 1.5, it's more reasonable in this one. You're getting that at minus 144. So I do think there's value there. Looking at Colorado laying the 1.5, you're getting that at plus 120. Colorado absolutely is a team that can come out and completely run over the Red Wings here. We know the struggles that the Avs have had on a defense, but that's more so on the road, in my opinion. You're looking at a strong team at home, 24-6, 18-11 on that puck line, and the Red Wings rolling in here, 15-12-1 on the road this season with a 17-11 puck line record. Now they've lost their last 2 games. They got shut out at home versus the Florida Panthers in that last one, out 4-0, and they absolutely got ran over in that one. They had won before losing these last 2, they'd won their last 6. So this team was playing some great hockey. Now they won the last matchup between them and the Avs. They were at home in that one, but the Avs have won the 9 prior to the last one. The Red Wings got the win, and it was a low scoring affair, 2-1. I do lean another higher scoring game in this one. I'd lay the minus 115 to the over 6.5. I do think 3-4 style game because we know the Red Wings have been able to score. Georgiev expected here. And when I think of Colorado, I think of lapses in their goaltending. And this Red Wings team, while they're going to be weak up the middle without without Dylan Larkin in this one, I do think this team can still score, but I do think Colorado is going to be able to easily score on them. Alex Leon has had some phenomenal games out there, but he's had some other games where I don't really trust him. So Alex Leon expected here for the Red Wings. I'm going to go with the goals. I'm going to go over 6.5. I do lean on the Avs getting the win. Again, it's too juicy. I would take the Red Wings plus 1.5. At minus 144, that is within range. Now, when I look at who's going to get these points on the board, with Dylan Larkin out, we've got to look at next man up for the Red Wings, who we're going to think. Firstly, I want to talk about the Colorado Avalanche. Nathan MacKinnon at home, over 1.5 points. He's feeling great out there on his home ice. I don't know if you've seen some of the live press conferences with him. He's just really feeling great there. So I do think the over 1.5, and Rantanen for over 1.5 points. Now let me just pull up the odds on those because I don't have them in front of me, you guys. The point market is where I'm going to look. The power play point here for Nathan MacKinnon's coming in at plus 110. I'd rather look at him for the 2+ points instead of looking for the conversion on the power play. 2+ points for Nathan MacKinnon. You're going to have to lay the juice at minus 128. It is absolutely possible that he could get 3+ points in this one, especially with the weakness up the center without Dylan Larkin. So 3+ points for Nathan MacKinnon coming in at plus 250. You guys know it had me right there with that plus 250. Rantanen for the Colorado Avalanche, you can take him for 2+ points at plus 132. I think it's really solid. And then if you're looking at Cale Makar, we know he's able to get those assists. Offensive defenseman that sometimes gets goals as well. 2+ points coming in at plus 176. I think all 3 of those players, so much value there. When we look at the Red Wings, Alex DeBrincat for 2+ points. I don't hate it at plus 350. He's going to have to work hard in this one to get 2+ points. I would rather take him for the 1+ at minus 142. It's so juicy though that I would rather and actually stay off. Patrick Kane, though, you can look at for the 2+ points. He's coming in at plus 135. I almost want to look at the anytime goal scorers more for the Red Wings than I do for the points. And for the Avs, I'll look at the points. So everyone I said for the Avs, I'm going to look at the points. Let's look at the goal scorers. Patrick Kane coming in at plus 185. For the Red Wings, I think worth it. Alex DeBrincat at plus 185. Those would be the 2 players that I would circle from the Red Wings to get those points. If you want to go all the way down to David Perron, value at plus 410 for the anytime goal, I would look more at the assists for David Perron, and I'm just looking at those assist values right now for Perron. I'm not getting it over there on FanDuel. They're not giving us the 1+ assists, and I don't want to go for the 2+ assists. So we're going to stay off that one. Let's look at the next game on deck. Goal in the first 10 minutes between the Avs and the Red Wings. Heck yeah, we have to look at that goal in the first 10 minutes. My problem is the goal in the first 10 minutes is going to be too juiced. I think you do absolutely look at that first period over 1.5. But that goal in the first 5 minutes, we got the goal in the first 5 minutes last night, and the goal in the first 5 minutes between these two is coming in at plus 164. Very solid way to go with this game. I expect that scoring to come in fast. The goal in the first 10 minutes, minus 156. So a nice parlay piece. I just don't, I wouldn't bet it straight up. I would also look at the Buffalo Sabres and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think the goals are coming in rapidly and fast in both of these matchups tonight. So we look at the goal in the first 5 minutes between the Buffalo Sabres and the Toronto Maple Leafs, plus 164. Absolutely money there. And the over 1.5 in this one is coming in at minus 134. Now, I do like the both teams to score with how Buffalo has been playing against Toronto. That's coming in at plus 164. And I know we saw some slow starts last night. You know, you look at Edmonton, I expected more offensively out of these teams right out of the gate, but teams unable to light the lamp. But I do like in both of these games we talked about that goal in the first 5. I wouldn't lay the juice on the first 10. Let's get some winners tonight. That is for sure. It is time to make some freaking money. We've had, you know, it was cold on Monday. Tuesday, a little bit warmer. We need a hot day out there on the ice. The Avs and Nathan MacKinnon over 1.5 points. You got to look at Nathan MacKinnon for the 2+ points. I love him tonight. Minus 128. If you want to believe he gets 3+ points, he could, you guys. Plus 250. He's on home ice. He's feeling great. That's 2 goals and an assist, or 2 assists and a goal. You know the combination. All he needs is those 3 points, and I definitely can see it out of Nathan MacKinnon tonight. Now, the last game on deck isn't so exciting. I do think we see overs across the board tonight. We have the Ottawa Senators taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Anton Forsberg absolutely needs a bounce back after the last performance we saw out of him. Being struggling in goal. He's got a 3.29 goals against average and an 888 save percentage. Does still know better here for the Anaheim Ducks. He's got a 3.61 and a 902 save percentage. I don't trust either goaltender. We look at the Ottawa Senators. So many players are missing. Brady Tkachuk expected to be back out there on the ice. We'll see if he gets out there. Leo Carlsson also questionable here for the Anaheim Ducks. I tell you, this could be a really ugly game. I'm going to look at this one going over the 6.5. 9 of the last 10 games between these two have trended to that under. No one able to score. I just don't believe in it tonight. The over is minus 118. Now, if you're looking at a side here, we got a massive dog in the Anaheim Ducks at home. Who are the Ottawa Senators to be almost a $2 favorite over anyone? They're coming in at minus 194. Could they lose this? Absolutely. They've lost their last 4, but getting back out on the road for this team, players are moving and people want to be highlighted, you guys. I expect, especially out of these 2 lower level teams, that we'll see these players really step up offensively in this one. So give me the over 6.5 at minus 118. I'm not going to lay the minus 194 on the Sens. If you want to take them at minus 1.5 at plus 125, be my guest. I would rather take the Ducks and have a little faith in the Ducks. I don't think the Ducks are winning this, though. They have the Stars on deck on Friday, the Islanders on Sunday. We look at the Sens. The Sens opened right around minus 135, 136. Within bettable range, they are now such a huge favorite at minus 196. So the money is coming in on them. I expect that goal to come in quick in the first period. I expect a couple. So the over 1.5 in the first period, I definitely am going to hit. Now, player props in this one. Brady Tkachuk should be back. So I would look at Brady Tkachuk to come out strong. There's a couple other players I like. So we're just going to bring up those goal scorers here. Now we have Drake Batherson coming in. It is locked up right now for Drake Batherson for a goal scorer. Let's see if we can get anything for his points right now. I hate when they lock these up. We're still seeing it locked up, but I would circle Drake Batherson. I think he comes out and has a strong day. Thomas Chabot here as well. We know these players really want to highlight themselves with what we're seeing. Now, with Leo Carlsson, questionable, and I'm not seeing him listed anywhere. I would look at Ryan Strome here for the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, I'm just looking at who else. I trust Ryan Strome to come out with those goals. Vetrano has been solid. I just don't love betting on him. He's done me dirty in a couple games, so not my favorite go-to. Shane Pinto here for the Ottawa Senators as well, expecting a solid game out of him. The overs tonight, the over 1.5s in the first period for all of these games. I do think Toronto and the Sabres, you could look at both teams to score. You could also look at both teams to score between the Red Wings and the Avs. I wouldn't look at both teams to score in this game. I wouldn't look at that goal in the first 5 minutes either. Could it happen? Absolutely. It could. The goal in the first 5 minutes in this one. That is locked up. Let's see if we got any goalie props here. Dostal's number is 30.5 to the over at -132. You look at the Ottawa Senators, they're averaging 32.3, and the Ducks give up a ton of shots on net at 33.3. Dostal over 30.5. That number's huge at -122. Not a number he normally gets, but I think this is like a situation with the Sharks goalie the other night where we took him over 30.5 and he was able to go over it. So I would look at Dostal over the 30.5, even though I think the Sens are going to score. They're going to bring those shots. Let's see if we can get goalie props in any of these other games, you guys. And then I can let you get on with your day. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Wednesday, by the way. So Samsonov's number is a 26.5, and Lankigan coming in at 27.5. Now you're laying the juice for a Samsonov to the under at -130, and you're having to pay the over for Lankigan at -130. So let's look at these numbers. Toronto, pretty solid at limiting opponents to 29.9. Their kill is not solid, though. So if Buffalo gets on the power play here, we're going to see a lot of shots coming in on Samsonov. That 30.5 is, or sorry, he's 27.5, -132, or 26.5, -102 to the over. Well, that one's going to be tight. Lankigan 27.5. I would stay off both of these goalies. I don't know if either of them get there. I think there's a lot of high danger shots in this one. Let's look at the Red Wings and the Colorado Avalanche game, what we're getting for goalie props in this one. Okay, so Alexander Georgiev is coming in at 27.5 and Alex Leon at 28.5. -114 to the over under on Georgiev and -108 to the over for Alex Leon and -122 to the under. Those numbers are pretty dead on as well. If any goaltender here, I would look at Colorado's goaltender Georgiev over his number. His number again coming in at 25.5 at -114 to the over. We know the Red Wings, after their last two games, especially after being shut out in that last one, are going to bring it offensively. That is the style of this team. And while Dylan Larkin is out and does account for a lot of shots in these games, I do think the next man up comes into play. We look at the Red Wings averaging 28.9 and the Colorado Avalanche allowing 29.6. So those shots are coming in. I will take Georgiev over. His numbers again are coming in at 25.5 at -114. I do think there is value there. So the Ducks and the Sens looks too easy to go over. It probably stays under for no reason. And we could see that. They could stick with those trends. 9 of their last 10 games have gone to that under. I just have no faith in either goaltender. Now, if Brady Tkachuk's not on the ice and some of these other players that are questionable don't hit the ice tonight, I absolutely could see this one going under. I'm looking at with this trade deadline coming up on Friday. These players are looking to definitely highlight themselves out there. Leafs and Sabres over. I love it with Batherson over half a point. That is a great little parlay there coming in at +227. So I love where you're going. Let's just see if those player props are available now in that game, because I really am interested in what Batherson is coming in as. And everything is still locked up. So we're on hold for that one, you guys, but all the best in all of your bets today. Let's make some freaking money out there on the ice. We got a huge slate tomorrow, so we'll be back here tomorrow to break down every single one of these games. Don't forget, we go over sides, totals, and props. So take what you like, Bet responsibly, you guys, and within your means. And if you haven't checked out the SportsGrid app, make sure you go over and do so. You can find it for free at Google Play and the Apple Store. It's got everything. You can follow your favorite hosts over there too. So give me a follow over there. We'll see you guys all later. All the best in all of your bets. Thank you again so much for joining me here on Pocket with Jo.